Wake up, and stay woke. Cause this is the Ball Hog Sports Talk with your boy, B Brown, ESQ, aka the Ball Hog, aka the Mouth of the South. This is the place where sports, business, and entertainment collide. And we're gonna give it to you rough, rugged, and raw. So come get you a spoonful, like some grits with butter and salt. You know how we do it in the South, y'all. Make sure you do not get caught in your feelings. Strap on your seatbelt and enjoy the ride. Come on, let's go. What's up? You know what it is. It's the Ball Hog Sports Talk with your boy, B Brown, ESQ, a.k.a. the Ball Hog, a.k.a. the Mouth of the South, a.k.a. Mr. Excessive Celebration in the building. Y'all, we going to have us a great day. It is Friday. It is inauguration week. It's about the commencement, the new beginning, but the same old Ball Hog Sports Talk. If you've never been here before in the Ball Hog Sports Talk, the way we do it rough, rugged, and raw, and we come at you from sports, business, and entertainment because that's where the three of them collide. Right in the Ball Hog Sports Talk. And this week, this episode is entitled Destroy and Rebuild. And we've heard a lot about destroy and rebuild this week because, again, it is inauguration week. We've heard about it's time to rebuild. And so, like always in the Ball Hog Sports Talk, we don't make things simple. Stick with us and you'll understand the complex nature of how destroy and rebuild also has impacted the sports world. This week, we're going to start off with a frequent guest and contributor, my man with quite the plan, has his own show, but he comes on the Ball Hog Sports Talk. Please welcome to the show, my man, Big Flo from the Big Flo Show.
What's good, America? How y'all doing today?
What's up? I love how you say what's good, America, because we're trying to talk to every household in America this week, inauguration week. We still gonna give them the sports freestyle. You know how we do it. You ready to give the audience what they came for?
Ready to go. Sorry, man. I got excuse my appearance today. I'm from a remote location. Got some different things going on in my household that kicked me out of my studio. So I got a little glare going on to you, but I'm going to bring you the same energy that I bring you every week. Let's go.
That's what's up, man. That's why I like you, man, because you're consistent. All the best to everybody in the household, even though you've been displaced from the studio.
Yes.
Godspeed from the Ball Hog Sports Talk. All right, cool.
Appreciate you.
We're going to hop right in, man. You know how it is. Sports freestyle, hot 16. We give them 16 minutes of that hot fire. And we're going to start with a topic that I think is going to be quite interesting. We used this week the topic destroy and rebuild. And that comes from the concept that Nas, you remember good old Nas after Ether came out with this song, Destroy and Rebuild. And he was just feeling himself at that point. He was going at everybody, man. And so we're going to start with a little bit of that same bravado, that same sort of cockiness, and get right into the NFL playoffs because Bills Mafia is officially back in the building since the 90s. What did you think about that round of the playoffs as they proceeded to the AFC Championship game? Are the Bills for real?
I think the Bills are for real. I mean, I think KC still is a squad to beat, but the Bills are for real. They better come correct. I think KC better look, and we're going to notice this team keeps winning every week. They got a great quarterback. They got a fantastic receiver. Defense is doing well. I think they're there, and I think their fan base, the Bills Mafia, is standing behind them 100%. So they better hope they can't make the trip to Kansas. I assume it's to Kansas City yet. They can't make that trip down to Kansas City with COVID and keep them out of there. But I like what the Bills are doing, man. I like what the Bills are doing. They have a history of being number 2 in the NFL dating years back. So maybe they can make themselves back to number 2 again, but we'll see.
Talk about destroy and rebuild. That reputation as an organization was destroyed. Not going to 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 AFC championships, or 4 Super Bowls, rather.
Super Bowls.
You had to go to AFC Championship to go to Super Bowl, but losing all 4 of them, and they have rebuilt that thing. Shout out to Bills Mafia. As a Browns fan, I know you like the Bears. It gives us hope, man. It gives us hope. I did see during the game, though, that Lamar Jackson unfortunately got hurt. He sustained a concussion, went down, couldn't play the rest of the game. But Bills Mafia gets even more of a shout out because in his stay, he had to be admitted to the hospital for some short period of time just to check on him, just to make sure he's okay. But during that time, Bills Mafia started a campaign to donate to his charity, which is backpacks with benefit. What's it called? Something about backpacks.
Yeah.
But $360,000. Blessings in a backpack. That sounds like a drug deal, really. But blessings.
Let's not dirty it up.
It's not. You know, you're right. I'll take that back. It's blessings, real blessings in a backpack, not the ones I'm talking about. But $360,000 in a few short days. So shout out to Bills Mafia, man, because they didn't have to do that.
I thought that was one of the classiest moves I've seen, where they support the other teammate. I think everybody donated $8 or whatever. And it kind of shows you how quickly an idea can spread with such a short commitment. How hard is it to jump on for $8 and everybody does it? But the kids benefit. I think it's a class move. I know we have a lot of competitiveness in us, and we want to step on each other's necks. But, you know, in the class where we see a president that doesn't show up to shake hands at the end of the game, I think it's good to see Bills Mafia set the example a little better than our president did. Send $8 to the dude. He lost. It wasn't in a weird way where they gave him the money, some sort of embarrassing way. It was a very good way and class move. Hats off to Bills Mafia.
I'll leave that there because shout out to them for doing that. The Browns, you know, man, I struggle with putting this on the topic list today because my Browns should have been the AFC champions. They should have been. They were so close. But this stupid rule, which I have now decided to announce today, that this is the worst rule in all of sports. There is no way that if I am going to reach for the goal line and fumble it and it goes out of the end zone, there's no way that the other team should get the ball. Is this the worst rule in all of sports? And yes, I'm biased. Yes, I'm bitter. Yes, I'm still licking my wounds. But I still think, objectively, sort of, that this is the worst rule in all of sports. What say you?
B, you know what, man? I gotta break it to you, man. I completely fucking agree. I've said this for years. If you fumble the ball at the 10-yard line and it dribbles out at the 1-yard line, you get the ball at the 1-yard line. So you get to take advantage of the fumble forward. But if that so happens to hit the pylon, the other team gets the ball at the 20. Why not bring it back to the 1? Why not bring you back to the 20? Anything but a turnover. I'll never understand that rule. I've always thought it was the dumbest rule in sports. Well before this, I'm glad that. So unfortunately, y'all had to take one on the chin to really see it in more ways than one. Because I guess the other argument is that was that a targeting, or I can't remember what they call it in the NFL, but was that what the college they call targeting?
Right. Yeah.
I think that's a little shaky just because of the way they plays. I'm a big guy on the bang bang element of football. You can't really just call penalties like that. He just tried to hit the guy. But I think it's the dumbest rule. I'm glad it got surfaced in a way that was so meaningful, and they should change it. There's no justification for it whatsoever.
I absolutely agree with you.
But y'all still would have lost, though. I'd be remiss if I didn't say y'all still would have lost the game.
If we got that touchdown?
The Browns are destined to lose. They're just, you're not there
yet. Man, not that week. We only lost by 5, and that would have changed the entire dynamic of the game. Now, granted, the game changed even more when Patrick Mahomes went down, and I love the fact that his mom, by way of Twitter, took a shot at the linebacker, Matt Wilson, and told him basically you're a dirty player. Matt Wilson responded with kind words. They had a real interesting exchange, but it just goes to show you, man, both of us have been at the youth level coaching. Mamas don't ever outgrow that. Don't mess with my baby. His mama was ready to go hard for him.
I'm going to say shout out to Matt Wilson's mama. He was raised right.
True.
Because in this day and age, people go to war with anybody, people's wives and whatever. When I say he was raised right, he came back. He didn't apologize for his actions. He said what he did was right. At the end, he gave her a little compliment. She had to come back and be like, I'm sorry, baby. I was just being mama bear. He handled that effortlessly. This is my last political shot. But damn it, if our old president could have done some stuff like that, learn how to have a little diplomacy in his answers, do some stuff and handle it, everybody left happy. Everybody left happy, man. That's hard to do. So shout out to Matt Wilson. Shout out to the Cleveland Browns that can now officially be deemed as the AFC champion favorites for next season. Yeah, I said it. AFC champion favorites for next season. Watch out for your boy, man.
Baker, touchdown maker. Y'all gonna stop talking. Y'all gonna stop talking about my
Congratulations
quarterback.
on not having the first pick in the draft, Browns. That's what we got to start off.
Hater. They be hating on us.
They don't know what to do. They're like, who's left back here? I don't know how to do back here. Huh? I don't understand how to do.
They be hating on us. So it sounds like you. Who are your picks? It sounds like you're picking Kansas City over the Bills.
Kansas City, but you know what? Part of me, I don't know what I like about the Bills. I'm not going to be that mad. And you know, this is a weird one for me. So I think Green Bay is the better team, but it's like I hate Green Bay so much being from Chicago. I can't root for them to go win. Even though that's like our division, I can't root for them. And you know what? I'm going to eat my words, man, because I've been saying Tom Brady is kind of the GOAT with the asterisk because I thought Tom Brady was made by Bill Belichick. And man, he's like, what you doing, Bill? Hey, what you doing this weekend? Huh? Yeah, I got you some tickets, man. Don't worry, man. Get your COVID test. I'll get you into the game.
Yeah.
So if he wins that, he shuts me up because I've been saying for years, if it wasn't for Bill Belichick, not really Bill Belichick, but his whatever the offensive coordinator was,
Josh McDaniels.
That there would be no Tom Brady, but Tom Brady told me to shut my damn mouth. So I'm not gonna do it on this show, but I'm gonna shut up.
His girlfriend, I'll be talking again. His girlfriend also had to shut up. Being Bill Belichick's girlfriend took shot at one of the fans who said essentially the same thing. Like, hey man, Tom proved it. Hey, he can do it without Bill. And hey, that's a ego tug of war right there. So you wouldn't be surprised. I'm going with, man, I want to say KC, but Buffalo's got something special, man. I really like Josh Allen. I'm gonna go Buffalo and AFC to play TB12, man. Tom Brady. I'm rocking with Brady, man. Brady's coming out. It's going to be tough to win in Green Bay, but if anybody can do it, Tom Brady can.
I'm going to say Green Bay, KC official final answer, unfortunately.
Green Bay, KC. All right, we shall see. We will be here next week to see who was right and who was not. Bill, so that's the Bills Mafia. Destroy and rebuild, the next part of it for this segment, Sports Freestyle. Dwayne Haskins is back. And he got signed by the Pittsburgh Steelers. And he posted something because he's wearing number 3. And it says, number 3 in the Bible stands for restoration and eternal life. Let's work. I always love when a brother gets himself in trouble. All of a sudden, he turned to the Lord. You know what I mean? Like, and ain't nothing wrong.
I live my life by the good book.
You know what I'm saying? 3.
Good
now he's going to tell us about the Bible. Last time we saw him, you're right. Huh? Last time we saw him, he was letting things clap in front of him, and it wasn't no hands. He was letting them dancers clap them things in front of him. And all of a sudden, he talking about
where was the good book back then?
Man. But I'm glad to see him back. Dwayne Haskins is getting another chance. What do you think about it?
I like the fact he's getting another chance. I think, sometimes we got to look at things and we're tend to say that, we don't get chances. And I think it's good that when the change happens. I think he gets another chance. I think he played like crap. I don't know why. He just didn't really pan out. But you know what, though? There's a lot of guys. You see Henne get in the game. I was on the phone with one of our old teammates, and he's like, no, that's not Chad Henne. Chad Henne been out the NFL for 100 years. No, that's Chad Henne. That's the same Henne from 13 years ago. Keep getting chances. You can't remember last time you saw him in the game. Nope. So I like to see Haskins go ahead and get another chance to see what's going to go. He'll develop. He'll do whatever. And if not, he gets a career back up. God bless him.
God bless him. Shout out to him, man. Good luck, Dwayne Haskins. This time, just remember that the Lord and restoration and eternal. Remember that. Off the field, my brother. But shout out to him. I want to hear from the audience, please, if you would. For those who are watching us live, thank you. We are on Facebook Live. We're on YouTube Live. Like we say every week, we ask you humbly, please like, please comment, please share, please tag a friend. But also, please let us know. Let me just go to look a step back and ask, who do the fans think will be in the Super Bowl? Who's going to win the AFC? Who's going to win the NFC? Make sure that you document it here because people have very short memories. They'll say that I always knew that it was going to be Green Bay. Well, document it. I want to see who you think is going to win the NFC game between Green Bay and Tampa Bay, the Battle of the Bays. And who's going to win the AFC game between the Chiefs and the Bills. Make sure that you document it. Don't try to, sugarcoat things at the end of the day. I want to see who you're picking. My man Cheeky Black is in the building. His New Orleans Saints came close, but they had no cigar. They came up just short. I love to see that Tom Brady, this old seasoned. Let's not call him old, seasoned quarterback because we graduated the same year. I love to see him in the Super Bowl. I hope he does it. Come on, TB12 for all the old dudes. All right, on to the next topic. Speaking of another old dude, Phillip Rivers finally retires. What do you think about his career? Is he first ballot Hall of Fame? Eight-time Pro Bowler. Never won the championship. I don't know how many playoff games he won. I would imagine it wasn't that many. But does Phillip Rivers get the first ballot Hall of Fame from a quarterback position stamp?
Prepper for the show, I tried to look up his stats where he was on the career list. I wasn't able to see that. I don't know if you saw where he is on the career list. He's kind of one of those guys who's like, I guess. I mean, what is he? I mean,
you can't say I guess. It's Hall of Fame. You don't just get there and say I guess. You gotta be decidedly.
He's good. He had some good years in there. Sometimes I guess it's when you play so much past your prime, when you're not a big deal anymore, you kind of forget. Because he was back there playing with LT and all those different guys, and they were balling. It seemed like he was doing something. But for so long, they lost because of him. So many late picks, so many late things.
Put up numbers though. He put up numbers, Reg, even during the picks, even during the mediocre seasons. Now you got to look at all the coaches he had, all the offensive coordinators he had. That man put up numbers, and if Hall of Fame is about numbers, he has those. I'm not defending or objecting to him being in the Hall of Fame. I'm just playing devil's advocate here. What do you say? You've got to vote first ballot.
Scott Bibb, shout out to you for giving that little detail about having to have better numbers than Eli. And Eli will be in, but Eli went and beat Brady twice. He went and did that in the Super Bowl twice. That's a big deal. He never did anything. So stats can beat you up too, because we've all played fantasy football, and sometimes you like when your team is sorry as hell. The team your quarterback's on sorry as hell because they get garbage stats at the end, just throwing the ball left and right. So I don't know. You know what? Reluctantly, I think he kind of has to get 8-time Pro Bowl. It's kind of hard to deny. People get in with many less Pro Bowls than that, and at the QB position. I mean, obviously it's hard. It's not like you can put two running backs, three as a QB. When you make the Pro Bowl or whatever, it's less than them than there are other positions. So reluctantly, yeah, but I'll probably be eating chips when he's doing his speech.
Yeah, you're not going to enjoy the speech. I ain't going to watch it. I'm going to put it on mute. He wasn't trash talk.
Celebrate his trash talk.
I love that he talk trash. At the quarterback position, you need a trash talker. I want to hear from the audience. What do you guys think? And the audience this time is our live audience, either Facebook Live, YouTube Live. We appreciate you guys all following. Make sure that you also follow the podcast. We are officially available on all your podcast platforms. What do you guys think? I want to look in the comments and understand why. Convince me why he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, or convince me why he absolutely is a first ballot Hall of Famer. The fact that he was drafted in the 4th pick by the New York Giants and was swapped for Eli Manning, they're always going to be interconnected. And I don't think anybody alive would say Eli Manning is not a first ballot Hall of Famer. So I don't know, Big Red, Big Flo. I'm so okay. I know your government name.
My government name.
My bad, man. Putting you out there. Big Flo. I don't know, man. I think he makes first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't know. I will see. All right. He only played 17 years, only 17. And 8 of those were Pro Bowl years.
It's a
good number, man. 8 out of 17. 8 out of 17.
He gets the last knock at the door. When he go around, he get the last knock at the door.
You get the last knock. All right, we're going to sprint through the last few topics, and we'll wrap up the sports freestyle. Tiger Woods, Tiger Woods, y'all. Tiger Woods just got not his first, not his second, not his third, not his fourth, but his 5th. I plead the 5th. His 5th back surgery. Is Tiger done, man? He's talking about coming back, but 5th back surgery. When I hear of these older players, we talked about TB12, talked about Phillip Rivers. Now we on Tiger Woods. The most undefeated element of our life is Father Time. And is Tiger Woods finally going to lose to Father Time? The 5th.
Nah. You know what? They're making a little too much of it. If you read up on the surgery, it wasn't some major reconstruction. It was a little cleanup, just taking some pressure off. They say he was up and walking the next day. He's okay. I mean, people golf into their 70s and 80s or whatever. He's not done with this. He may need to change his game and not swing as hard or whatever, but he's all right. Let's not make too much of this little cleanup. He's all right. He's gonna golf this season. So
all right. Hang in there, Tiger. One more thing I forgot to mention about Phillip Rivers, since it seems as though I'm his agent at this point. The Chargers let go a particular quarterback in order to insert Phillip Rivers. That particular quarterback is an absolute first ballot Hall of Famer, also probably going to retire, none other than Drew Brees. Fun facts, man. That's a lot of quarterback fun facts associated with Phillip Rivers.
Mm-hmm.
First ballot, man. First ballot. All right, Saquon Barkley. Some might call Saquads with them big old quads he has. Saquon Barkley is saying that he's going to do his rehab alongside Odell Beckham Jr. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? They seem to have a friendship based on they played together with the Giants. Odell is always in the story somehow, some way. Do you think that makes the rehab better to be able to do it alongside?
I think after the initial healing period, once it's up there, you're trying to get back. I think it's better. You have somebody there grinding with competitive nature, you can do some stuff. I like Saquon. Odell's Odell. I think Saquon might be good for Odell, even though he's a little younger. But I think it's good to compete for your rehab and have somebody that you can grind there with, because I know rehab can be a lonely place. So I think that's fantastic they're doing it together.
All good, man. The family of Jordan McNair, who is the offensive lineman from Maryland, who unfortunately lost his life by way of a heat stroke, they settled for $3.5 million. And I don't know what you think about it. I thought the interesting part of that was not that they settled, but I started looking at who took the fall for that. And not even took the fall, or took the blame for it. DJ Durkin, who was the head coach at the time, he got fired. But if you look at it, he is now resurfaced, and he's the linebackers coach and co-defense coordinator at University of Mississippi. And Ole Miss is also the place where Lane Kiffin has resurfaced and made something out of his career. I don't know if you thought 3.5. How do you put a value on the life, right? And it took
you can't put a value on a life. I think 3.5 million, I guess, if there is a value, is fair. I think both of us playing football before. You push. He fell out and he had a heat stroke or whatever. You don't know what's going on, but we've all seen people fall out. We've all seen people throw up and do whatever. So I kind of go back and forth on it. It's very unfortunate that he passed away and he died. I'd hate for that to be the family. I think at the end of the day, you got to compensate and do whatever, because there's to blame. You fire the head coach, but I've never seen a head coach at a conditioning session that people ran like that unless you're running after practice. Even then, the coaches aren't really there. So you fire the coach. He should resurface. You don't lose your career over it. It's a very bad mistake. Nobody thought he was going to die. I don't know all the details, but at the end of the day, they're having a heat stroke and whatever. I know that they didn't maybe they didn't render aid at the right time, some of those different things. That's a procedural thing that goes to the training staff.
Yeah, training staff got fired. The strength and conditioning guy got fired. So
you got to be ready for heat strokes and stuff, because those things happen. But it's an unfortunate situation. And hopefully the family can help try to put things together and build from there. It's just sad.
That is sad. Even as a youth football coach in Pop Warner, they teach you how to respond to the signs of a heat stroke. So really unfortunate. Hopefully, again, like you said, the family can use the money and put it to good use, because you never, ever can replace a life. And you, as a big flow father to a high school recruit now, you just in your mind, you just hurt thinking about the family. So shout out to that family. But as they described the environment, the bullying and all the things that went on, as I'm reading what they were describing as bullying, that sounded to me like practice, right? Because we do
in football. We push people around and knock them to the grass, bullying.
Yeah, it sounds like practice. We played in a different era. So and thank goodness that things are changing. Speaking of health issues related to sports, Karis LeVert. This mega trade eventually could have saved his life, because it was in the new team's physical. They found a mass on his kidney, and Karis LeVert, thank God that he was traded. And just goes to show you there's sometimes be a blessing in disguise. In this mega trade, they found a mass on his kidney. I don't know if you saw the story, but very interesting.
First things first, shout out to him, to the staff for finding it, and prayers hopefully that he can make a full recovery. The thing that I was wondering is, does that unravel the trade in any way, shape, or form?
No, I don't think so. I think I don't know, because you do have to pass the physical. There's a stipulation of passing the physical, but I would imagine something unrelated to basketball, like
that was in the whole Nets trade too. Sorry for not knowing that. Was in the whole Nets trade that.
It was the mega trade.
Can you imagine if Harden got to go back now because my man kidney ain't work? Hey, bring those Harden. That would be the big story.
I don't think they would do that. All right,
they got an extra pick and some cash for it.
But I think he's fine now. It's a matter of
it's treatable. He's happy. He seemed very happy they found it. He said he was feeling good, so they can go get it. Hey. It's great.
I hope he recovers for it. Scott Bibb, thanks for that contribution. He's saying, by the way of the comments, that they found kidney cancer by accident as well. So you will remain in our prayers, Mr. LeVert. Last two topics, then we're going to go home. Steph Curry trains himself to control his heart rate during the games based on some, he puts a sandbag on his. Yeah. What did you think about that? I thought when I read it, I'm like, man, I'm so sick of these light-skinned stories. That's a light-skinned story. Everybody got to control their breathing. Light-skinned people get credit for everything. And I know you got the lighting all, situated, but you one of them people, you get credit for everything. Yeah, of course you learn to control your breathing.
If you think about it, if you really think about it, we deserve it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We deserve it. Now, you know what, man? Look, these dudes are professional athletes, right? But in the day where you see these prima donnas out here not doing stuff, not training, getting fat, do whatever. Shout out to a dude who's putting 80-pound dumbbells on his sandbags on his back when he's out of breath. You know how much I already got 80 pounds on my stomach when I'm out of breath. I don't need any help. So hey, look, any little thing you can do to give yourself an advantage so that you get better at the end of the game to earn that money that you're making for your team. Shout out to that, man. You're professional. Go out and do what you got to do, man.
Got it. All right. So last topic, and we sort of alluded to it when we talked about Karis LeVert and the big trade. I'm going to go specifically focusing in the trade on Brooklyn. Can it work, man? Yes or no? Don't give me no political answer. I want to hear from the audience. Brooklyn Nets have been on trial for the last several days. Can it work? Can the Nets win with their new big three assembled in Brooklyn? Yes or no?
I think it's gonna fail, but I don't think that based off what we saw.
You gave me the rope-a-dope. You start shaking your head like, yeah, I think it's gonna straight up fail. You gave me the rope-a-dope. All right.
Yeah. So I think it's gonna fail just because I think that the mentality of the people on there aren't the right ones. They're gonna do it. You don't have a lot of defense out there. I don't think it's fair, but I don't think we can judge based off of what we've seen. I mean, when he got together, it took a little while. People lose, but you lose to the Cavs though in overtime. You're like, who's on? Name two people on the Cavs. I'll wait.
I know now Sexton because he got cooking, but I didn't know his name before.
Sexton. So who's that? I don't know.
He balled out. He balled out.
I don't know who it is. So I don't think it's going to work. But I don't think we can judge it just yet. It needs some time to cook to see if I'm wrong or not. But it's still in the shoot around phase. We got to wait till about my birthday. About February 16th, we'll find out who this team really is.
Okay. Well, that means that's going to be your birthday gift. They're going to finally reveal the true selves of their true selves. Colin Sexton showed me in that Cavs game that indeed they might not have enough defense. They might not have a defense because I was all in. I said it absolutely when you have that many prolific scorers on the court. How do you defend them? What I forgot to estimate or at least evaluate is the lack of defense on the other side. So
they can't stop nobody. Big.
Can't stop nobody. It was a bad call though. The Kyrie got an offensive charge. It was a bad call. I think they end up winning. All right.
It shouldn't come down to a call when you're playing the Cavs and you have those guys. But okay.
True story. All right. With that is the sports freestyle. My man, Big Flo. We're gonna hop into the next part. Big Flo, you're gonna come back. You're gonna be back in the last part, right? Don't leave.
I ain't going nowhere, but I still say goodbye. Some people might only tune in for my piece, you know.
Yeah. Well, tell them to come back then, because you got another part where you're gonna be at the end. Don't until then, don't be going to do no light-skinned stuff, man. You know, that's all I ask. All right. All right, my brother. Thank you. The Ball Hog Sports Talk. We love having Big Flo in the building, man, from the Big Flo Show. Y'all make sure y'all represent and support his show. We're going to get into the next part of the show. And you guys, for those of you who've been around for a few weeks, you know that we now are going to step into the center court. And the center court is where we get a little real. We get a little deep. We step into the new realm of analysis. And we take what is the show, the episode, and we give it a little more analysis. So today's episode is called Destroy and Rebuild. This part of the show, Center Court, is brought to you by Excessive Celebration. Much more than a party, we are an experience on top of your event. Destroy and rebuild. Destroy and rebuild is a process that we know all too well in America. From private equity firms to real estate developers to politicians, Americans certainly know how to destroy and then eventually rebuild. The headlines this week were consumed with peaceful transfer of power talk. Even though the transfer was anything but peaceful, the talk was rampant this week as the inauguration took place. Of course, the inauguration sparked conversations about what was destroyed over the past 4 years under the previous administration and what needs to be rebuilt. Your view on that probably depends on your political affiliation. However, there was another peaceful transfer of power, which was also anything but peaceful. It was taking place during the same week. But this other transfer of power, it wasn't happening in DC. It was happening in BK instead. Last week, during the strictly business segment of the show, I spoke about the evolution of the athlete and how the players are no longer mere employees these days. They've advanced their status to the point that some might even be called partners with the team's ownership. And now this week, we have living proof. A man named Kyrie, who happens to live in Brooklyn, has forced us all to start seeing players differently through his destroy and rebuild behavior. For example, he took out his tool belt and destroyed the notion that he is just property. Kyrie hopped into his bulldozer to demolish the concept that he should just shut up and dribble. In fact, Kyrie stopped dribbling altogether for a period of time that he deemed necessary to handle his personal affairs. Kyrie gutted the stereotype of athletes always needing the limelight whenever they do a good deed, as he chose to buy a house for George Floyd's family, which we only heard about from Steven Jackson, not Kyrie himself. From the ashes of this destruction, Kyrie seems to be the mastermind of an amazing rebuild. If we allow it, Kyrie's efforts will rebuild our view of athletes. As the media, fans, and former players, even like Rasheed Wallace, who I normally love, as all of these groups quickly jumped on the pile to call Kyrie selfish, immature, and all these other words, Kyrie was taking care of his mental well-being and thereby developing plans that should reshape how we view athletes like Kyrie. Gentrify. Gentrify is a verb that means to change the character of what is normally a poor urban area through wealthier people moving in, improving the housing, attracting new businesses, typically displacing current inhabitants in the process. Well, Kyrie is gentrifying our views on athletes and changing the poor outlook we have had about how athletes should exist in this world, about them moving the needle and improving expected independence. Let's hope he displaces the broken property mentality that has lasted far too long when we think about athletes. Inauguration week is the perfect time for this, because to inaugurate is simply to introduce into public. It's to introduce into public use by some formal ceremony. So here on center court of the Ball Hawk Sports Talk, I'm happy to inaugurate Kyrie Andrew Irving. It even sounds presidential. Kyrie Andrew Irving, the man, the myth, and the legend who has destroyed the old view of athletes and seems ready to rebuild it for public use from this point forward. And that's a word in the center court. All right, y'all, this part of the show is a little more familiar with everybody. We're going to hop right into the part where you guys have seen this format. We get into the three and a possible, where I am joined by two people that you know very well. And sometimes we are joined by the possible is a missing link. So with no further ado, please welcome to the Ball Hawk Sports Talk. You know who they are. It is the maestro superhero DJ John Quick and the Maverick, Miss Majestic Maya. Come on in, y'all. What's up?
What up? What up? What up? What up?
Y'all know how we do it. You know how we do it. Three and a possible, like a pretty good spades hand.
Oh, that's a bad spades hand. What are you talking about?
You don't like three and a possible? It all depends on how you play it. If you can get the possible, you get the four. Hey, you know.
Six and a possible. I'm trying to run the balls to me. My partner trying to get everyone.
Why does that not surprise me that you want to run a ball? there is no in between. Ain't no mediocre hands for the Mavericks. She want to kill you. You know what I mean? Quick, get you off the sticks. Get off the table. All right, y'all. Y'all know how it is, man. We gonna come in and have some family time. Since we at the spades table, we got some things to be discussed, and those things to be discussed are gonna bring the audience a little bit of fun, man. We're gonna start off with something that's not as light, but we still need to discuss it. First of all, how y'all week been? Y'all been good, man? Everything's good? What y'all think about the inauguration? I'm just hopping right in. I ain't got no manners. What'd you think about the inauguration? 30-second view of the inauguration. I'll start with you, Miss Majestic Maya. What'd you think?
Oh my God. The mere fact that I don't have to look at the color orange for the next 4 years. That was enough. Okay.
So no orange, nothing. Orange, nothing. It's in the South, that's how we pronounce it. It's orange. That's how we say orange. You know more orange, nothing. Okay.
Oh, and Michelle came to slay all of us. She was not playing games.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. She bad, man. She bad, and then she bad on top of bad. Superhero DJ John, quick. What did you think? 30-second view of the inauguration. I'm sure you watched it. Sure you had some views. What did you think, man?
I think that moving forward, like literally any kid can literally say, "Hey, I can be president or I can be vice president."
Amen.
I think it was a beautiful thing. I saw a lot of the pictures being posted were of little girls watching Kamala on TV, and I just thought that was profound. And it was just a beautiful day. And like Maya said, no more orange clown in the White House. So New York. I mean, not New York. The nation is getting their credibility back.
Right.
With the ones, and Joe went to work too, bro. Like immediately.
Executive order. He had that pen. Exactly. Hey, look, that's how I used to be in the parties, man. I used to have that pen with that notebook. I was getting them numbers, baby. I was writing them numbers, baby. Hey, Joe went to work, baby. He went to work with that pen. Yeah, man, it was good. It was good to see. And Kamala, shout out to you, my sister. That look that Michelle gave Kamala, like that unwritten language of the eyes between two sisters, was pretty freaking impressive. And so shout out to you all, man, who found some joy in watching the inauguration, because I did too. All right, we're gonna hop right in. This first topic, like I said, is not as light as our normal topics, but something that we got to talk about. Delonte West, former NBA player, played for the Cleveland Cavs along with other teams, has been spotted homeless on videos. Mark Cuban went out of his way to make sure he was entered into a rehab facility, and now Delonte West is working with that rehab center. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see the story, but I think it's a great story about redemption. I'll start with you, Maya. What did you think?
I'm just so glad to see a young man getting the help that he needs. I don't think people realize how important mental health issues really are, because we're conditioned to not show emotion, especially Black men. So, and then especially in the Black community, mental health was something you prayed off and that's it. And now we have someone stepping up to the plate, Mark Cuban, who realized this young man needs help. And now he's taking what he's learned and he's paying it forward, which is just a beautiful thing. It really is. But I hope it starts the conversation with mental health struggles with the Black community and also Black athletes. People think they make all this money, all their problems are absolved. And actually, it just highlights them. I think that should be addressed.
Sorry, absolutely. If we can copy Delonte West in the sense that he's got a mean crossover and a wicked jump shot, let's make sure we copy him in the sense that he got the help that he needed. And hopefully, let's pray for him to continue his help. Superhero DJ John, quick, I'll give you last word on before we move to the next topic. What do you think about Delonte West's story of redemption?
Yes, it's a beautiful story of redemption, and big up to Mark Cuban, because it's ironic. They call this dude controversial and everything, but I've met Mark Cuban, and I've had a quick conversation with him, and he just seems very real. Like he doesn't. It's like he knows he doesn't have to really answer to nobody. And even the NBA, when they find him, they're like, okay, he's like, okay, whatever. That's like a pocket change. But I want to pick him up for like seeking Delonte out and getting that man help, man. I mean, real talk. It's a beautiful story, bro. Real talk.
Everybody else was looking for Delonte through Google searches just to watch these videos of him being homeless. And like you said, Mark Cuban looked for him for other reasons. So shout out to Mark Cuban.
Can I say something very briefly? Whenever Mark Cuban was fined by the NBA, he would pay his fine in pennies. So he would load up the French truck.
Eddie.
And he would drop off bags of pennies to the NBA office. So he is king of petty and doing the right thing. So shout out to Mark Cuban. I live in Pettyville, and he's the deputy mayor. I'm the mayor.
Hey man, shout out to my dog and my former teammate, Big Cliff Stroud. Big Stroud from Pittsburgh. We were roommates when I was in law school, and he's a good friend of mine. But you know, he's a big gregarious man, talks a lot of trash, and it was some classic fights as his roommate. But I lost a bet to him one time. He paid me in pennies. I've never wanted to beat a man up so bad. When he handed me that big old thing of pennies, I'm like, man, what? That's such a petty way to pay up. But it does make the point. All right. University of Michigan basketball scoring record has been broken, not by one of the men of the Fab Five, not by some of the great players that we've seen in the University of Michigan, Glenn Robinson, and all of these names. It was broken by Naz Hamilton, and she set the single game record of 50 points. What did you guys think about the performance by Naz Hamilton?
Hillman, not
Hillman. Hillman. I don't know why I want to make her last name Hamilton. Hillman, like Hillman College. Naz Hillman. What did you guys think about it?
I don't follow anything Michigan. I mean, it's great. It was a young lady, but I don't follow Michigan.
You're gonna see a reoccurring theme in this segment. The ladies. We start off with Kamala Harris, and now we're at Naz Hillman, not Hamilton. I'm messing up her name. Disrespect the sister. Sorry. You're gonna see a reoccurring theme. The ladies showed out this week. What did you think, superhero DJ John? Quick before we move on.
Well, first of all, her name is Naz. So that's you know, she had me right there. You know what I'm saying? Like
destroy Nas and it's destroy and rebuild episode. So shout out to the sister. Shout out.
So he's supposed to be on here. So big up to the sister, man. Like 50 points, like that's nothing to sneeze at on any level. So respect to her. Real talk. Excuse me. She's actually gonna make me try to catch a Michigan women's game at some point on TV. Like real talk, like she got game like that.
I've been saying, man, the women's college basketball is a hidden gem. Watch it. It's some great basketball. But I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that even if there was no defense out there, I could score 50 points. I would miss so many layups. That's quite an accomplishment. So shout out to Naz Hillman. You go ahead, my sister. Sticking with women's basketball, but not as positive of a story. They got a women's basketball coach at Detroit Mercy that has been accused of being abusive to her players, and essentially the player said enough is enough, and the season has been canceled. Did y'all see that story, and what'd you think about it? She was straight Suge Knighting folks at practice.
Wow.
Yeah, that was just disturbing because she had actually had issues before going to Detroit Mercy. So I get it. People are motivated in different ways, but if you got to hit somebody or get that on them like that, then you're not a good coach. You can't motivate doing that. I mean, like maybe you need to just start from scratch, take a different path, a career path, but baby, you getting up in young women's faces like that, you want your ass beat. You're not gonna touch me, and I don't care who you are. You're not gonna put your hands on me. At that point, all bets are off because you don't respect me, and her players don't respect her. A common thread with coaching: if your players respect you, they will give you all they have. They don't respect her, and once you lose respect, it's incredibly hard to get it back. So she got the punch in the face.
Yeah, she. I'm glad she did not coach you. That could have been interesting. That could have been interesting. What did you think about? I'll let you get last word on it, superhero DJ John. Quick. I thought it was interesting that here it is, this woman, and it goes back to how we started with Delonte West. It seems like she needs some therapy. She needs some help because you can't think that that's rational. But indeed, it wasn't a one-time thing. This was just normal behavior for her.
Yeah, she's from the Woody Hayes School of Coaching. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, she needs to understand it's 2021. That's not going to fly, you know. Young people especially are aware of their rights and aware that they command respect as well. And so she's in the wrong profession, and she definitely needs to get some help.
Yeah, I hope she gets that help. WNBA MVP. Asia Wilson, who used to play for our girl at the University of South Carolina. She is now the proud representative, the proud owner. There's a statue on that campus, and she talked about the fact that her grandmother couldn't even walk on campus, and now there's a statue of her on the campus. I thought it was pure genius in terms of her perspective. While I love Dawn Staley, and that's what draws me to that program as a coach, because I remember Dawn Staley playing. I love her as a coach. This young lady, Asia Wilson, who has had a great WNBA career thus far, early in her career, to make that type of statement on a week like this just shows that a lot of these athletes do have perspective. They don't get caught up in the hype. They have something deeper than them than just a jump shot. So I thought it was a wonderful statement, especially in a week like this, that the first woman was inaugurated as the vice president of the United States, and she happened to be a woman of color. Superhero DJ John Quick, I'll start with you. Asia, what did you think about Asia's statement?
Definitely profound. And like you said, you know, this week has been just so historic. So it kind of just fits right in. And I like the fact as a young sister, she has a true understanding of the history of this nation, oftentimes an ugly history. And obviously it had been occurring on that campus. So, you know, kudos to her, man. She's a hell of a player too. So big up to her. Real talk.
Yeah, fun to watch. Maya, I'll let you drive home the last statement on this. What did you think about Asia?
First off, yeah, she balled. She could definitely ball. Yep. I think it's as a testament that not only do the players get it. I said there's a very small population of players who are just completely lost. The people who need to know about this impact are the fans, the boosters, the university, to acknowledge the fact that their past is not rose-colored. It's not like this, oh, well, we loved everyone. No, you didn't desegregate these institutions until the 1960s. Okay, those pictures are in color. So those are the people who need to get wind of what the true history of this country. Trust me, these athletes know. It's the fans that only care about these athletes when they're winning for the schools. Those are the ones who need these history lessons. And Absolutely. Shout out to her, Black excellence on and off the court.
Another sister, a lady of color who has done great things in terms of social justice, who got Athlete of the Year, Naomi Osaka. Now she's a fashion icon. She might be taking the place of Serena, y'all, because she now is being signed by all of these brands. What do y'all think about our girl Naomi Osaka? Is she unseating Serena? I used to love the ads with Serena, and I ain't got to tell you why. Mind your business. Mind your business. But I used to like, especially the full body ads. I loved all them Serena ads. Mind your business. Mind your business. But what do you think about Naomi Osaka now being the face of so many brands? I'll start with you, Maya.
Yeah, she's the face of Louis Vuitton, Tag Heuer. I don't like the comparison between Serena and Naomi because they're two totally different women. And I think that it always comes down to when you have two great Black anything, they're always pitted against one another. Fair. Serena, Naomi's Naomi. I'm here to celebrate them both. And that whole, this is Naomi's time. Serena got her own brand. It's not like Serena is out there. Serena got money. Like, she's good. I just don't like them pitting the two women against each other because the media has done that. But I love the fact that she's a young, woke, young woman who is out there. She's doing the work.
Absolutely. Agreed. My man, what's up, Glass Bart in the building? What's up, Frat? He says, don't curse Serena's name in vain, bro. Well, look, it's like Candyman to me. I'm going to say it in the mirror in the dark bathroom 5 times, and Serena just pop up. Serena just pop up. I'm with it. I'm going to say it 5 times. So, superhero DJ, Superhero DJ John Quick, what did you think about these brands finally they are on the Naomi Osaka train? What do you think?
Well, she's a beautiful sister, and she's talented. She could actually play. Unlike, remember that tennis player back in the day? I forget her name right now. You know what I'm talking about?
Stevens?
No, the blonde chick from Russia.
Oh, Anna Kournikova.
Yeah. She was getting all the deals, but she couldn't play a lick. You know what I'm saying? So Naomi is the truth. Like nobody can ever say that about her. And I'm glad that Serena and Venus kicked those doors open for sisters like Naomi can walk through. You know what I'm saying? So, and to speak to Maya's point, to be honest, that's what sports media does. They're always going to compare, not only black athletes, they're always comparing Peyton Manning to Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they do. They need something to write about. So I get all that. But to me, like you said, they're two different people. Like Serena, we know Serena by just one name, Serena. Naomi hasn't gotten to that space, but she's mad young. Maybe at some point she will. But either way, I'm happy for both of these beautiful sisters. Big up to the black magic going on today.
Absolutely. Yes. I couldn't agree more.
Don got a crush on that. He loved him some Naomi. Oh my
God. Naomi's a cutie, man. Like real talk. Like she's bad. She's bad.
She is.
And Serena too. Shoot, don't get it
too. You too late. I already
can I share a quick story with you guys?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I was listening to what's that, Mad Dog Sports? But when Mad Dog was with the other guy on the AM,
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name. Yeah.
One of them, they were talking about Kournikova and Serena, and one of them said, "Well, fact of the matter is, Kournikova's just a better looking woman. That's just the facts." I know we don't call in. I called in like, listen, I don't know when the last time you've been in the hood, but I can guarantee you there ain't no Anna Kournikova posters up in some boy's room, but I bet you there's some Serena posters. So before you stay fat.
So you told on me. On me? I got me a picture of Serena.
So before you start saying facts about beauty, you know what I'm saying? You need to check yourself. Before I can finish, they just hung up. Oh, he's just an angry caller. Whatever.
Well, look, I was just guilty of it too. And Maya, you make a great point. Is because I see it in the corporate boardrooms, meaning that if there's for every Dick Parsons that we have in a corporate boardroom, if we want another black person in the boardroom, Dick Parsons has to give up his seat. So shout out to you, Maya. You make a great point, and there is enough room for both of them.
Really quickly, Bob, when you're in the bathroom mirrors chanting her name, call me because her body is insane. I just want to touch it because I'm like,
me too.
But I saw her in person.
Easy. This is a family show.
I forgot.
It's a family watching. Look, her body is chiseled from the gods. I just want to bounce a quarter off her butt. I swear, I just want to see it.
Well, when you do, I'll be next to you since we're on the Ball Hawk Sports Talk together. That's the least that I can do.
I don't objectifying women, people. Disclaimer. We're just talking shit, but I would love to touch her booty.
Yeah, well, I have to agree with you there. So first female, in the spirit of sticking with these sisters showing out this week, the first female Super Bowl ref will be this coming Super Bowl. There will be a ref in the Super Bowl that is a female, has female genitalia. She's a woman. So what do you guys think about that? Quickly, because we're gonna go to some topics that we're gonna spend some more time on. Thumbs up, thumbs down. A lady who is refereeing the Super Bowl is. What do you guys think?
I don't give two shits about the NFL. However, this is great for gender advancement. Go out there, do your thing, young lady. I'm here for it. But I ain't clicking on to watch that shit.
All right. I could have got into Jay-Z executive producing the halftime again, but I ain't gonna go there. That's for a different show. We'll say that for next week. What do you think, Superhero DJ John Quick, a lady referee in the Super Bowl? Is this a moment to celebrate?
It is a moment to celebrate in terms of gender equality, but I'm with Maya. I ain't really checking for the NFL right now, but until they do right by Cap, Ain't no good gonna come for that.
I got you. I like it. They got that root. You got that root. All right.
That's right.
Jerry Rice says Joe Montana more clutch than TB12. And I'm just going to give you guys agree or disagree. Jerry Rice says Joe Montana is more clutch than Tom Brady. I'll start with you, superhero DJ John Quick. Would you agree or disagree with that statement?
Wow. That's not as far away as you know what? I agree.
You agree? All right. Maya, I know you were a Marino fan, but Joe Montana was the name in that day. Marino was the next group. Do you agree or disagree that Joe Montana is more clutch than Tom Brady?
Totally agree. They called him Cool Joe for a reason.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Before we move on, like we ask you every week.
And also, he played before QBs were really protected.
Hello.
Right.
Yeah.
He was getting that snot. He was getting them snot bubbles knocked out.
Exactly.
He got
popped. So we're going to ask the audience, like we ask you every week, humbly, please like, please comment, please share. We're going to add another request to that. Humbly, we ask you to follow us on whatever podcast platform is of your choice. And we're also going to ask you, I want to hear what you say, audience. Who is more clutch? Is it Tom Brady, TB12, the man, the myth, the legend? You know he a bad man. Or is it Joe Montana? Tell me why in the comments. And I'm going to read all of them today. Persuade me. I'm on the fence. I don't know if it's TB12 or if it's Joe Montana. Hopefully the audience can persuade me one way or the other. All right. Kodak Black was freed by Trump. I think he got commuted. He didn't get pardoned. Lil Wayne was commuted. Dion went to bat for Lil Wayne. Brian Urlacher's brother was pardoned. Brian Urlacher was very public in his advocacy on behalf of his brother. What do you think that does overall for the Trump legacy? What did y'all think about, Lil Wayne taking advantage of an opportunity? I'll start with you, the maestro. You are the man behind the music. Lil Wayne, Kodak Black, and Trump. What did you think?
If a Coonan Roach was a person.
Not just a coon, but a roach. Oh,
Maya,
what have you done to the superhero, Maya? You influenced
this before Maya. He just gets on my last nerve, man. Like, remember when he was in the interview, he said, there's no racism in the United States. It don't affect me. Black Lives Matter. I ain't worried about that. That don't affect me. But you were smiling and cheesing like a little. Oh, he just disgusts me. You don't even remind me of. He reminds me of Marvin the Martian from Bugs Bunny. You know what I'm saying? So later for that dude, man. Later for him.
All right, Maya, and thank you, Juan Williams Jackson. He does point out, and I think I said that right, that Lil Wayne was pardoned. Kodak Black was commuted, and the difference is the underlying crime. When you're commuted, all it is doing is impacting your sentence versus the crime itself, or the criminality of the crime itself. So I will go to you, Maya. What did you think about this? I gotta call it a combination of politics and hip hop at this point.
I wrote it down, so I'm about to go in.
Oh Lord!
Here we go.
So
before you do, I ask everybody humbly to like, comment, share, tag a friend right now, because Maya's about to be Maya, and she absolutely guarantees to be entertaining. Go ahead, Maya. Go ahead.
Okay, so in regards to the little burnt roach, because that's what he looks like. He looks like a burnt roach, the actual insect with blonde dreads. He literally looks like something that fell out of our asses after a drunken night eating White Castle.
Exactly. Oh gosh.
So Lil Wayne has been in trouble twice, not once, but twice with federal charges. So people are saying, oh, he's playing chess, not checkers. No, he's not playing it. He's just playing stupid because he shouldn't have gotten in trouble twice. How dumb must you be? I'm not campaigning. One is an accident, two is a trend. He knowingly does dumb shit, and he aligned himself with somebody who is a fat roach so he could not be, so he wouldn't have any legal troubles. But you still ain't shit. Let's not forget, you didn't have any money when you owed back taxes, when the IRS was all up in your shit. And who paid your legal fees and your back taxes? Jigga Man. So tread lightly, ya Burt Krusty Roach. Secondly, Kodak Black. Anything related to Kodak has not been relevant since 1989. I don't even know who this yuck mouth fucking who are you? Like, is that, I think that's the same one who was trying to get Lauren London. She wouldn't even wipe her, she wouldn't scoop him off the ground. Like, are you kidding me? Take your ugly gold to, oh God, enough. Brian Urlacher, let's get on homeboy who had to buy some hair. Now, and remember, so his brother was all up in some shit. Brian Urlacher, as you know, has a black son that you never see. Okay? Mm-hmm. So while he's over there, MAGA, he was in that black twat. So, Brian Urlacher, I need you to have several seats. Okay? Your brother's a criminal. You're stupid. Lil Wayne is just a waste of whatever. And Kodak Black, flush yourself down the toilet. They're all trash.
Well, with that, it is interesting though to see that these guys are using the mechanism of pardoning through a president. It just seems it's really interesting. Music also was impacted through sports this week because Rick Ross, his son has now been given 2 offers to Syracuse and I think to Miami. Or 2 programs, Power 5 programs. Rick Ross will be a football dad, it seems, at the college level. What do you guys think about Rick Ross? And he wasn't the only one. Edgerrin James' son also got an offer for University of Miami. So it's good to see like these legacies now getting to the point where they're going to be playing. It makes me feel old, but these kids' sons are going to be playing college football.
At the end of the day, any young black man getting educated, quote unquote, because you know they're going to do a couple of years in school and go pro, do whatever they want to do. I'm here for it. They just good. If you're good on the field, let your work speak for itself.
Absolutely.
But I will say this: I've always loved Edgerrin James. He has always just gone out, done his thing, he's always been his own person.
Yes,
so the mere fact that his son is getting an opportunity, I love to see it. I've always had a soft spot for Edgerrin James. And for him and for his son to follow in his footsteps, I'm here for it.
All right. Superhero DJ John Quick. I don't know if you had anything to add to it because we are going to we're going to get out of this segment after you weigh in.
No, it just goes to show you how genetics work, especially when it comes to Edgerrin James' son. Like, listen, you know, there's certain things you can't coach or teach. You know what I'm saying? Good for him.
The guy who gave him the offer and made it known was Eric Hickson, who's the little brother of Hyland Hickson, played at Michigan State. Rest in peace. Family I grew up with. Eric Hickson is a running back coach at the U. Had a great career himself at Kansas State. So I love the story just because I see family getting the ink that they deserve. All right, y'all. You know how it is. We'll bring you back for the traffic court. I'm gonna hop into Strictly Business. Y'all don't fall asleep on me. We'll be right back. We're gonna be quick. Strictly Business is gonna be very quick. So we'll be right back. Y'all know what it is. It's 3 and a possible. That was our segment for today. I'm gonna get right into Strictly Business. I'm gonna go. It's gonna be lightning round because I was a little long on the other topics and you know, I got to allude to Strictly Business in terms of the center court and the Kyrie piece. So I'm gonna go lightning round and talk about a few topics. The Atlanta Dream. We know Loeffler, the senator who lost in Georgia. She's selling her team, and people have made bids for it. And I'm happy that whole evolution of power, the partnership that I discussed in last week's Strictly Business segment, has now compelled her to sell the team because she does not deserve to be an owner, let alone have the word owner of these sisters that are standing up and doing right for social justice. Zion, you know, one of those people that in his rookie year, from the moment, even before then, even from high school, could go by one name, Zion, and you know exactly who we're talking about. He won in court. There was a marketing contract voided. If you guys know the story, there was an agent that provided him a sort of a marketing agreement in advance, and there's a whole bunch of loopholes in there. She tried to throw Zion under the bus, but guess what? Zion too strong. He got that bus off his back. He won his case. Good for Zion. Happy to see it. The Mets fired their GM, Jared Porter. This brother, man, who wasn't a brother, he sent a lot of texts to a reporter, and she was not responding. He was attracted to her. And what do you do when you sent someone 60 texts and they haven't responded? Of course, naturally, the last thing you do is send a picture of your penis. No, you don't do that. And so this creep, and I will call him exactly what it is, a creep. Fellas, if a lady is not responding to your text messages, she is not responding to your advances, get over it. There are other women out there. I think that there's so much delusional behavior and a mentality to power that people don't know the word no. And so because he didn't know the word no, a few short months after, I don't even know how long he made it. It was a very short amount of time after being hired. He is now fired and probably the pariah of all sports because he put a picture of his Mr. whatever he calls it in a text message. Not smart. Lions, I don't know. Again, not smart. The Lions give the head coach, their new head coach, Dan, whatever his name is. And the fact that I got to say Dan, whatever his name is, Campbell is his last name, says that we don't know who he is, but yet still he got a 6-year contract. So I don't know what the Lions are doing. And I never knew what the Lions were doing, but the Lions are being the Lions. Why would you give someone who is, in my humble opinion, unproven, at least as a head coach? Absolutely. That's objective. As a head coach, unproven, 6-year contract. But the Lions being the Lions. But Eric Bieniemy is still without a head coaching title. We'll see. I thought the Eagles were going to step up to the plate and do right by Eric Bieniemy, who's been the architect of the offense. But we see a lot in the Eric Bieniemy story, and we're going to get into it next week about black coaches. We got an amazing, amazing piece next week about black coaches. But even, I'm a Browns fan, so I was hurt on 4th and inches when the Kansas City offense trots out there and everyone thinks they're trying to draw us offside. And instead, they do a rollout and throw a pass. Even after that amazing gutsy play call, you never heard those two words, Eric Bieniemy. People immediately, Tony Romo and the color as a color commentator, and look on Twitter, you immediately heard Andy Reid. They don't even give that man credit as the offense coordinator for the call. And it says something about where we are with black coaches and why we have such a problem in the NFL. Last two topics quickly, and then I got to get into one I'm going to spend a little bit of time on. But Oklahoma State, the walk-on, gets a scholarship. The coach, black head coach, goes into Walmart. And this walk-on is doing what he does as a part-time employee at Walmart. And he is told that he's going to get a full scholarship. Really a warm feeling story. So look it up if you haven't heard about it. Tennessee, the Vols, got in trouble for giving out money in a McDonald's bag. They ain't even got enough respect for their recruits to give the money out in a Chick-fil-A bag. McDonald's, bro. McDonald's. Which I thought was the quintessential peak of stupidity. But let's be honest, man. In order for the Vols to have any say in the SEC West, they're going to have to pay a few people because there's a big bad man called Nick Saban in the SEC West that if you want to do anything, you got to go through Nick Saban. And so I think it's just status quo. And as soon as I started feeling that way, it's my university, the University of Notre Dame, that is unfortunately also on probation. The NCAA and their stipulations this week came to bite Notre Dame. And so I know that there have been people egging me on to have this conversation. I see you, Palmer, the Palmster, University of Miami fan. Don't be messing with me as many times as y'all been on probation. We are on probation. Don't know what it means. We had to pay $5,000. We got a few less hours of visits. And it seems like some real intricate, nuanced rule that forced us to be on probation. The assistant coach that was guilty of this infraction was none other than Todd Light which in this weird way just shows how messed up the NCAA is, because Todd Light gave so much to the game as a player on both the collegiate and NFL level. So for him to be blamed for some weird nuanced rule seems unfair. I'll get more into Notre Dame because I've said it here before on the Ball Hog Sports Talk. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. So if I spend a few hours, extra hours that's out of bounds, good, Brian Kelly. Bring on those assistant coaches that are going to push the envelope, because that's the only way you're going to be able to beat Nick Saban. All right. That's the Strictly Business segment. We're going to hop quickly in the traffic court, and we're going to wind on down. I'm going to bring back the whole crew. I'm bringing back the Maverick, Miss Majestic Maya. I'm bringing back the Maestro, superhero DJ John Quick. And I'm even bringing back my dog, Big Flo, from the Big Flo Show. All four of us. Here we go in the building. Traffic court. You know what it is. This is lightning round. We're going to go through it quickly, and then we got the judge, the jury, and the executioner. I happen to be the judge. Big Flo and superhero DJ John Quick are the jury, and you ain't got to look far to know who the executioner is. Miss Majestic Meyer. Here we go, y'all. We'll go in order. First topic, Devontae Smith, the Heisman Trophy winner, the Slim Reaper himself, has decided to play in the Senior Bowl. I'm going to start with you, my man Big Flo. What do you think about that decision that he is playing in the Senior Bowl after the season that he had? Quickly.
I think he's trying to answer all challengers. I know people still think he might be a little bit small. He'll probably go and just do the drills during the week and do the workouts. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him sparingly, if at all, during the game. But he'll just go out there and do the workouts because, all the coaches will be there and they'll get to see him do the one-on-ones, some of the different challenges. So it's kind of like some pre-combine stuff. But hats off to anybody who takes that chance and gets out there.
Superhero DJ John Quick, what do you think about him taking the chance to play in the Senior Bowl?
Fire his agent.
No, don't fire. We know his agent. He's our guest.
Wait.
But I do want to ask his agent, what's up with that decision? Go ahead.
I can't see how. First of all, he's not going to get any bigger playing in the Senior Bowl. That's the only question people have about him. His size. It's not his hands. It's not his speed. It's not his heart. It's his size. He's not going to get bigger playing in the Senior Bowl. What are you doing? No,
great point.
No,
great point.
I pray that Big Flo is right. He's just going to go down there and do the drills. But other than that, I don't get it.
I hope they put a red jersey on him, no contact. Maya, what do you think? The Slim Reaper playing in the Senior Bowl quickly. Good decision, bad decision?
I would say I'm sitting this one out, and the reason why is because we do know his agent, and
he's been a guest. The agent has been a guest on the Ball Hog Sports Talk.
So I know his agent personally. He's the husband to one of my best friends. If he signs off on or agrees with it, I'm following the person who knows best. So Maya's going to actually be quiet for this one and say nothing.
Is it reasonable or excessive? The judge is going to say excessive. While I love his agent, I think that he's a brilliant man and great at what he does. I'm praying that he's right on this one because the season that he had, he don't need no more. I think it's excessive.
Right. I don't get it.
The NBA has decided to ban human contact before and after the game, a game that has a lot of human contact. What do y'all think about it? I'll start with you, Maya. They're going to put basically security guards at half court and not let the players dap each other up after the game. What do you think about that? Is that a good idea, or just quickly, what do you think?
If you're doing all that, why are you even playing? I like, it doesn't make sense. You already had the bubble. You already put all of these security measures in. You didn't have anything that oh God. The NBA is taking it to the next level. If there's no contact, why are they even playing? If it's that much, stop playing. I bet you they won't, because they want that revenue coming in. So Adam Silver, I need you to take your skinny self, go have a seat somewhere, because you're doing too much. It's 2021, not 2020. Get it together.
Before I move to you, superhero DJ John Quick, think about that new rule that they can't dap each other up after the game. They're gonna put security at half court. I want the audience to let me know, what do you guys think about that decision to now ban human contact before and after a game that is filled with human contact? I'll move to you, superhero DJ John Quick. What do you think?
Why? I mean, you know what I want to see? I want to see the security dudes try to, if the dudes just to be petty, just try to hug each other, see if the security guards are really going to like jump in. Like, no, break it up. Like, come on, man. That is just like, why are you playing? If you're worried about that, like, come on. They're playing a physical game of basketball with no mask, and then after the game, you don't want them to hug.
Well, you've got a picture. For those who are listening to us on podcasts. What you can't see is the superhero DJ John Quick, the Maverick himself. Behind him, he has a picture of MJ, the greatest of all time, spreading his wings. I love that poster that you have of MJ. But could you imagine a security guard even thinking that he was going to grab MJ after you trying to dap somebody up after the game? Man, you better go home somewhere. Big Flo, what did you think? Crazy rule, but hey, it's a rule. What do you think?
That's silly. Too much. They're just trying to make some show. At the end of the day, we boxing each other out, rebounding on each other, breathing real hard on each other. And all of a sudden, at the end of the day, we can't shake hands, we can't hug, we can't dap up. That doesn't make any sense. It's crazy.
That smells like a lot of stink. Sorry.
Yeah. So knowing each other. Yeah. So here we are. I say, as the judge,
it's goofy.
It is goofy. Is that reasonable or excessive? I'm absolutely saying excessive. NBA, get over yourself. At the end of the day, man, if you don't want any contact whatsoever, I'm with Maya. You got to cancel the games. All right. So now we have Deion Sanders, who made such the headlines with his decision to go to Jackson State University. Unfortunately, Jackson, Mississippi, it's some folks in Jackson, Mississippi who robbed Deion, and they stole his radio. And then they returned it, but they made a big old thing about it. And Deion came on. He basically called on the hood to help him find his radio. And sure enough, a day later, the radio showed up, and they celebrated it. I throw that story to you all to say, just ask, what do you think about it? Is this a story about, again, redemption? Should we be celebrating the fact that radio resurfaced? Or does this show that, man, Deion better get his butt and all his gadgets and trinkets the heck up out of Jackson, Mississippi, because this is only going to be the first of several interactions with the streets. What do y'all think? I'll start with you, Maya.
First off, shit popping in Jackson, Mississippi. First and foremost. Secondly, like I'm not, can you come back?
I'll come back. Matter of fact, it's not supposed to be a turn. I was supposed to go in reverse order. Big Flo, what do you think about?
I like it, man. The streets have a code, right? They don't know who you robbing. They didn't know they were robbing Deion at the time. They came in there, they got him for it. The radio thought it was good. He put it out there. I got a story for you. My first job out of college, my first time I came out to go drive off to my first job, I got my suit, my briefcase. I feel like I'm a big deal. My car got stolen. So I leave first day, got everything in there. You know, in college, the only thing sacred is really your car. So I had all my documents and everything was in the car from just coming back home from school. But the people who stole my car, although they stripped it to the rims and the seats, whatever, they mailed me back my driver's license. And I said, you know what? Wow. These people are bad, but they got a heart. They gave me a chance to start putting things back together. Mailed me back my license. And I think the street said, okay, we're going to keep all your stuff. But if the radio mean that much to you, you can have it back.
The code of the streets. Now, he was very clear that has sentimental value to me. He had me all teary-eyed over this doggone boom box. I'm like, bro, get over it. It's a boom box. Deion, you can afford a whole boom box distribution center with that one little boom box. But, hey, you know, it is what it is. I'm going to go over to you, Maya. I'm going to switch back to you because I think Maya, I'm going to follow up. What do you think?
Like I said, there's tumbleweeds in Jackson, Mississippi. There's no news. Secondly, I totally understand like someone stealing something that's of sentimental value. So I get that. But I expect nothing less in Jackson, Mississippi. Shout out to everybody from Mississippi. We know a couple. I know you know a couple of people from Mississippi. But I expect nothing.
This story is so ridiculous that I think superhero DJ John Quick, his doggone internet was like, I'm done with this. I ain't messing with it. So we ain't gonna hear his take on it as we struggle with the technical difficulties. The Cleveland Cavs are strongly considering either releasing or cutting a player because of a food fight. Do y'all think that's going a little too far? Maya, I'll start with you. They seriously might be getting rid of him. What do you think?
Well, if you knew his backstory, he has consistently had issues. He had problems at SC. He had problems his first team. He's another mental health issue case. He has consistently done little shit to get to where he is. It has nothing to do with the food fight. The food fight was the last straw. They knew he was a problem when they drafted him. Get rid of him. I don't understand.
They did. They officially did. They got rid of him today.
Yeah, he has a history of doing little dumb shit. You got to go, homie.
But a food fight, Reg? Are you gonna give him a little bit of leeway, or what you think?
Here's what we got to say. Did we not learn from Haskins? What do we say about Haskins? And I don't know if it's on this time or we did our show before. Sorry if I'm mixing up things, but Haskins was not good enough to go to be with the strippers, right? You're not playing well enough to do that kind of stuff. He got mad and he started a food fight because they moved his locker for the guy that they just traded. They showed you how they feel about you because they moved your locker. So you are not good enough to then have a fit and throw food if you're not good enough to keep your locker for the guy that they traded in a 3-way trade and nobody even knows the dude that they came in for. So know who you are. You make millions of dollars. So you're going to get cut over food. They moved you. They already showed you you're not worth what they're paying you.
Superhero DJ John Quick, last word on it. What do you think?
Yeah, self-awareness is a beautiful thing to have, and he obviously was not self-aware. He didn't understand the pecking order. So yeah, I'm sure they're like, good riddance.
So I guess as the judge, if I look at that and say, is that reasonable or excessive? I still gotta go excessive. It's a food fight, man. Young kid, that's how he lashed out.
History of acting like a little fucking brat.
I know, but I'm around a bunch of parents that have a history of doing the same thing, so I'm a little more lenient. And you sports, I see
They throw food at the Brown House. They throw food at the Brown House. That's just
Emily will get all of them.
Nah, yeah, I believe in the people's elbow. Ain't no food being thrown in this house. I guarantee, because the people's elbow will be unleashed. I will say I'm going with excessive on that one, man. Cavs, y'all could have rolled. The brother was going through something. That's all. All right. Oklahoma football player is now officially dually enrolled in his school in DC. I think he's at one of those prep, Gonzaga or one of those schools. I don't know. Gonzaga prep. And Oklahoma. He's a big-time prep. They say he's the next coming. As soon as he signed, a whole bunch of people that were in the quarterback room decided to go into the transfer portal. So he a bad man. But is this too much? Can you be dually enrolled in high school and in college? I'm going to start with you, superhero DJ John Quick. Have we finally reached the point of insanity where there's a high school student that is enrolled in both his high school and in college? What do you think?
I did it my senior year, West Virginia State College. So yeah, it's I said it's nothing new. To be honest, maybe it's new to major colleges, but I was in my HBCU as a senior in high school. So yeah,
I didn't know. I've never done that. So that's awesome that you did it.
It was part-time. It's part-time, but I had just swimming classes and stuff like that, but nothing, major, but I was in school. So,
but you were getting those credits. What do you think, Big Flo?
I think really the high school needs to let go. I mean, you're in a college prep. The reason why you go to high school is to get to college, especially Gonzaga Prep is a private school. So he's accomplished that and he's gotten to college. I think let the man go, right? Why does he have to show to you? He's proven to the college that he's good enough to get in there. He's done everything. You should be proud of your son and just let him go and make him do both. But then I have to also give a little side eye and say, is he really going to both schools at the same time? I don't know. Right. I never had a whole extra semester work in me. So I don't know. That's none of my business. But I say to the high school, just let the man go off to college.
I ask you this, Big Flo. When you say just let him go, I'm assuming because Gonzaga is one of those prep schools, because the St. Thomas Aquinas of the greater Fort Lauderdale area, the illustrious St. Thomas of the greater Fort Lauderdale, Florida area, also is one of the institutions that does not allow their kids to graduate early. I think that's why he has to finish his requirements at Gonzaga. you're saying that they should just ignore the rest of the requirements and let him officially be a graduate?
They should have done that if I figured out, I want to make it about me. My son's going to graduate early. This school has a program, so he does some summer school courses. He can go early. All the private schools pretty much around the country have the same rule. You can't graduate early. And I just think it's silly. Your goal is to place kids in college. This kid's earned the right to go to college on a scholarship. Find a way to do something for him, but to make him do the dual thing to prove to the world that, hey, I'm going to hold down and make sure they do everything. It just doesn't seem right because the goal is to get him to college, and you've already helped him do that. So I think it's
Maya, you get last word. What do you think?
I totally disagree with Reggie. I mean, it's just like, just because you get a job doesn't mean you quit a new job, you quit the one that you're already on. Like, I'm out today. And then you go like, no, you need to take care of the stuff before you leave. Because remember, you still have to report to, they could give a report to the new employer, or they could rescind that offer. So you got to know what side your bread is buttered on. You have to be a little bit more strategic. Now, I know quite a few people that were dually enrolled in high school and college. And what they do, it was like part day, they had their high school requirements, and then in the afternoon they had their actual college courses. Like, they were testing out of the sciences and the Englishes and stuff. So I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, aren't we supposed to make sure that student athletes are just that student athletes?
Well, when you say you got to do, when you take a new job, you've got to finish up your requirements from the existing, which will soon be described as the previous job. It sounds like you saying you need to steal some of the paper and the staplers and all of that. Like, you ain't doing no real work on that job. You just, housing. You sending a few emails and wrap ups. But I agree with you. I actually agree with you. So when I think of whether or not it's reasonable or excessive, no, I don't think I agree with you. I'm sorry, Mike. I'm going to go with reasonable. I think at this point, the complexity of what it means to be a student athlete and the evolution of it, dual enrollment is the next step. And so maybe Gonzaga needs to figure out a way to overcome its own structural issues, because if you're going to have such a high profile basketball, football, and all of the sports, high profile program, kids are going to enroll early. That's just the truth.
Yeah, no, you agree with me, Bob, because that's what I said. Let them enroll early, but don't just say you're done with high school because we got you into college.
Well, part of it is, I'm saying, give them a path to do that. Kids know that they want to leave early when they become recruits as sophomores. So give him a path to if you want to do those requirements, give him a path, like make him take summer school courses, do some different things so that he can technically be done and get all his requirements in. Like I'm saying, my son's going to get all his classes in. They're not going to just pass.
That's different than if you do that early and get all of your requirements out the way. That's totally different than just saying.
The school doesn't allow it, so that's why he has to do
Gonzaga's one of the schools, like St. Thomas, that doesn't allow it. And I think it's going to become outdated. We're the dinosaurs because everyone else is doing it. So I'm going to go reasonable because it's sort of the halfway point. But Gonzaga figure it out, because it's unfair to a young man at 17, 18, and who knows, he might be 19 the way kids do it now. But he might be 20. But it's unfair for a young man, I think, to be in transition, have to put all that on his plate at once. All right. Urban. There is a particular person named Marshall Falk that thinks that Urban Meyer cannot develop Trevor Lawrence, a.k.a. Sunshine, at Jacksonville, and because he hasn't had a great track record on developing quarterbacks. Maya, I'll start with you. What did you think about the story?
Well, you know how I feel about Urban Meyer, first and foremost, and Sunshine, so I'm going to leave it at that. But he only had, the last time he had a great quarterback, quote unquote, was with Alex Smith. These are professionals. These are not college players. It's a totally different ball game. I am rooting for him to fail. So I'm going to agree with Marshall Falk and say, no, Urban Meyer cannot handle that big, awkward, people under the stairs looking quarterback.
I got to give you an A for honesty. That's about as transparent as anyone could be. I am rooting for him to fail, and that's Absolutely. What it's going to be. Big Flo, what do you think? Is Marshall Falk on to something?
You and I had this conversation before. I 100% agree. He's had so many great great college quarterbacks, like phenomenal. Tim Tebow was one of the greatest college quarterbacks that ever played. Everybody at Ohio State was one of the greatest college quarterbacks that you ever saw, and nobody made it in the NFL. So I think he needs to stay away from him. They shouldn't even look him in the eye. He should just say, I have a no contact rule quarterback, because he does not have anything to do. And even Alex Smith, he had to fight himself. You saw how much fight he has to get off of his leg. He had to fight himself to become an NFL quarterback because he was a bust at first. So, yeah, stay the hell away from the quarterback. Do everything else.
Superhero DJ John Quick, you get the last argument here before I make my judgment. What do you think? Can Urban Meyer develop Sunshine?
Some people are quarterback whisperers, and then you have others that are quarterback poisoners, and he is the latter. So stay away, bro. Like, real talk. He's got, how there's some people got a green finger, like he got a black finger when it comes to quarterbacks. Like, real talk. Like, stay away, bro. Stay away.
Straight kill him. All right, so I get to make the final judgment, and I know that you guys have made some really compelling arguments, but I got to go the other way. I think that is it reasonable or excessive? What Marshall Faulk said, I think that it's excessive. I think that absolutely Urban Meyer can develop him. While you have seen on the college level, you're right, and Big Flo and I talked about this. You've seen these players not progress at the NFL level. I mean, Urban Meyer only coached them on the college level. Their development at the NFL level was on the back and the burden of the position coach. I'm betting on Urban to at least develop Trevor Lawrence. Now, if Urban does the unthinkable, as I think somebody put in here, my man Anthony Denman said it, and drafts Justin Fields, that will be the early nail in his coffin. He will not be a good NFL coach. So I'm going to go with excessive. Get over yourself, Marshall Faulk. Stop talking about my coach.
Well, I'm not talking about LeVar Ball again.
Yeah.
No, because that statement Bobby just made was just as trash as LeVar Ball.
Yeah. Hey, I got to stand up for my coach.
Don't pull the yellow teeth out on him.
I got to stand up for my coach. All right, last topic before we get out of the traffic court. Sarah Fuller, the young lady who was the kicker and got a whole bunch of accolades related to her being the first female to play in a Power 5 game. She introduced Kamala Harris. Is the recognition bestowed upon her? Is that reasonable or excessive? I'll start with you, Superhero DJ John Quick. Did Sarah Fuller deserve to announce Kamala Harris? What do you think?
Hell no. Hell no. Like, out of all the people they could have picked, like, God, that literally gave me a headache. And no shade to her, but no. That's it. No, I can't, man. I can't. I was shocked. I know I wasn't the only one. There's no way.
Right. Big Flo, what do you think? Did she deserve that?
I'm not going to say I'm offended, but I'm close to it. Here's the thing. Kamala Harris broke through, right? She ran. She campaigned. She had a career. She did all these different things to get to the place that she's at and the position she's at, to stand up for a lot of people. I'm not trying to hate on Sarah Fuller, but it wasn't like this was her dream to be a kicker. The team was trash. They fired the coach like the next day. They weren't doing well. Everybody had COVID. Nobody was around, and they threw her in. So I'm not trying to take away from her, but it's not like if this was her dream when she was young and she fought through and she earned a scholarship to play soccer or to kick in college and did something great like that, I would look at her differently. But they threw her in because they didn't have anybody else. They were getting beaten. They were trying to find a gimmick to get some attention. And again, that's not her fault, but don't compare the two. They're not the two at all. It's offensive. It is. I'm offended. I'm offended. I go back. I'm offended. Right. I just feel like it takes so much away from the accomplishment of Kamala Harris to throw. Oh, she kicked a couple field goals because we didn't have anybody else, and she's a soccer player. So I don't know. I'm offended.
All right. Last but certainly not least, the executioner, the Maverick. What do you think? Did Sarah Fuller deserve that platform, that podium, to announce the first duly elected for a national election of Vice President Kamala Harris? Did Sarah Fuller deserve that honor?
She deserved that shit. Like, there's not a word to describe how excessive that is. That's the most insulting white privilege shit I've ever seen in my life. What you kicked the foot? Like, seriously, no one knows who Sarah Fuller is. The only reason why I know about it is because she's doing this show. Honestly, there's so many more qualified women of color because Kamala, she represents all women, but at the end of the day, when she's walking down the street, she is a Black woman and an Indian woman. We see her as Black though, she's us. But you could have picked anyone, any other Black woman to bring her in, and you're gonna get this white football player / soccer player, whatever fuck she play, to introduce her. That's the white privilege shit that I talk about all the time. Who is she? Bitch, you basic as hell. I would have preferred Hillary to call. At least Hillary has a track record. Right. But Sarah Fuller, bitch, I couldn't distinguish. I couldn't tell.
I took Judge Judy.
Oh, I love her. I couldn't distinguish between Sarah Fuller and my neighbor. I don't know what these bitches are.
All right. Well,
that's that white. That is the shit, the white privilege that I'm always bitching about.
All right. Well, how does a judge not agree with that? Those were some very strong arguments. So in the case of Sarah Fuller, as the person given the honor to announce Kamala Harris as the first female vice president of the United States, was that a reasonable or excessive honor? Absolutely, positively excessive. I got to go with y'all on that one. That was excessive, especially because you had Stacey Abrams. You had so many other people that I think deserved it. And look, at the end of the day,
really, you nailed Stacey's supposed to
Stacey Abrams. And at the end of the day, I mean, look, let's be honest. Sarah Fuller, you first got to national recognition because of a squib kick out of halftime.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
make a field goal.
Not even a good squib kick.
It wasn't a good squib kick, and they had to change the narrative. Like, oh yeah, that was intentional. Like, y'all down by 50. Y'all giving them field position. How is that intentional? It's either got to be an onside or kick it deep, real deep. Y'all need every yard you get.
Qualified for introducing our new VP is I was for winning the damn Oscar. Think about, bitch, who are you? What did you act
you were in that movie you weren't in?
Yeah.
What movie I was in?
No, he said you were great in that movie. Great analogy. All right, y'all. We're going to leave it there. This has been the Traffic Court, where you have the judge, myself, B. Brown, ESQ, a.k.a. the Ball Hall, a.k.a. the Mouth South, a.k.a. Mr. Successor Celebration. You have the jury, my man, the maestro, superhero DJ John Quick, and Big Flo from the Big Flo Show. And you have the executioner, none other than the Maverick, Miss Majestic Maya. We appreciate y'all this week. I'm going to take it home. Y'all give everybody a peace, and we will see you next week in the Ball Hog Sports Talk.
We out.
All right, y'all. As we come home on this episode of Destroy and Rebuild, we talked about a lot of things that have been destroyed and now need to be rebuilt. In the center court, we talked about this idea and this acceptance that athletes are just that, athletes. Kyrie, I think, has done a good job of sharpening his tools to destroy that narrative. And I'm interested to see how he rebuilds it from this point forward. But it's going to require us, those in this community, to be receptive of this new narrative. And with that ends this particular episode of the Ball Hog Sports Talk. Like we ask you every week, humbly, please like, please comment, please share. We add to that now. From this point forth, we ask you also to please subscribe to our podcast, which you can find on whatever your favorite podcast platform is. This has been the Ball Hog Sports Talk with your boy, B. Brown, ESQ, a.k.a. the Ball Hog, a.k.a. the Mouth of the South, a.k.a. Mr. Successor Celebration. This has been the Destroy and Rebuild episode. And with that, we out. Y'all enjoy. New administration, new president, new hope. Let's look forward. I'm out. Peace.